What's going on, my peeps? Your boy Versatile is back with another video, back with my 2-week review of the Samsung Galaxy S20. Yes, if you hear it in my voice, did catch a little bit of the wife's bronchitis. I do not have bronchitis, I don't think. I've been likewise trending to feeling better over the last few days. But nonetheless, let's get into this review. And before we do, make sure you guys ignite that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell so that way you guys get informed when I drop videos. Now, let's get into the review. And the first thing I want to talk about is the build quality. I love this thing. It feels very good, feels very solid, feels very just well built. And one thing that we know about Samsung is that they do not play around when it comes to their hardware of their phones and tablets. And just like the Tab S6, I love the S20. Yes, it's a little bit slippery, but the fact that it's morphin' time. The fact that they, lessen the curved display on here is the reason why it feels so much better to use in the hand. And the curvature on the back of the phone, in terms of the back and the frame, provides better grip and less accidental touches. And so that's one of the things that I have been thoroughly enjoying with the Galaxy S20. What else have I been enjoying in terms of the hardware? Well, as I mentioned before, the display, the 120 hertz is amazing. It's just not something you want to turn off once you experience it. I mean, that's how I felt about the 90 hertz, and that's why it was hard for me to actually decide to get the Note 10 Plus over this phone, is because I was so used to that 90 hertz from the OnePlus 7 Pro and the Pixel 4 and 4 XL. So, of course, you can only go up from there, and having a 120 hertz display made directly by Samsung on their already beautiful, astounding displays is a 2-to-1 special. Now, of course, one of my caveats that I mentioned before, and I've gotten used to it, I'm glad that it seems like they kind of toned down the display a little bit between your home screen and like when you're viewing an actual picture or something like that, is they tone down the color just a little bit, which is fine with me because, as I said, the vibrancy was super vibrant, especially when it came to the reds and like the light greens. But I've actually kind of gotten used to it over time, and now when I go and look at my Pixel 4, it feels a bit dull, and it's so weird because I like the Pixel 4 screen and display and color technology as well. But of course, with a Samsung panel, you can't help but enjoy the vibrancy that you get with their displays. I have been noticing the speaker quality in this, and I feel like it's been improving over time. As I mentioned in my 1 week later review, that, and I think it was maybe, it was one of my dislikes, I think, was that the sound wasn't as good as the Pixel 4. And of course, there's a hard stretch because the Pixel 4 and seems like it really stood by its audio quality and its camera quality. And at first glance, it seemed like the audio was somewhat tinty, and it just felt like it was lackluster in comparison to the Pixel 4. But over the time, seems like there's some truth into kind of warming up the speakers, you could say. And they've been sounding a lot better. And I've actually gotten better at kind of tuning the sound on my individual device. And so I use Sound Assistant via Goodlock that Samsung has given you to kind of help with sound. You can move your sound bar, your volume bar from the top to the side, but then you can also set your own presets. And so I have a couple presets set for different locations, but nonetheless, I've increased the bass on here, so that way it feels a little more deep and more heavy, feels more full. And so after doing that, I can't speak about the speakers no more. They sound very good. And of course, you would say out of the box, it should already sound good, and maybe to one's normal ears, they probably do sound fine, and it probably didn't experience the Pixel 4's sound. So you're probably gonna get good sound quality out of the speakers anyway. But a slight suggestion is whenever you buy something, like, make sure you try to make it yours, and yours to your best of ability. And sometimes that's just going into the settings and tweaking some things. And you get that accessibility with a Samsung device, specifically here with the S20, and I've been enjoying it ever since. What do I like next about the Galaxy S20? Well, the software. The software has been beautiful on here. I love the always on display. being able to do a one tap and you get that right there. Wow, within the theme store, you can find something like that. I like their utilization of always on display, meaning that there's no default one setting for it. You can go in, fine tune. Do you want it always on? Do you want it on at a scheduled time? Do you want to just tap the show? I like that because it gives you more control over how you want your battery life likewise to be used. I love the features you get in here. Now, granted, I don't take as advantage of as many features as I used to with the Galaxy S20, but they're there. And if they're laid dormant, they don't bother anybody. And so I don't understand why we don't, like, we want more, but then when we get more in certain areas, now all of a sudden there's a problem. Like, Samsung gives you a plethora of features that you can use or you don't have to use within their phones or their devices. It's just up to you to use them. They don't get in the way. And if you go into settings as you would any phone and just start kind of tweaking your phone to your personal liking, you'll actually probably find some features that you enjoy in the Galaxy S20 that you would have likewise never known you would have liked unless you tried them or had they not been available elsewhere. You know, some people complain about not getting enough features or not getting enough in terms of hardware or specs. But it's like Samsung tries to do their best in giving us a ton in both departments, yet people complain about getting too much. And I think that trend needs to stop. Like, enjoy the fact that we get a ton at our disposal for devices that we pay money for and enjoy them. And that's one of the things I enjoy about the features, whether it's with the always on display, whether it's the different screen quality settings, even though I left it at 1080p, 120 hertz, whether it's your home screen layout, how you have it laid out, the edge panels. I love the edge panels. I use them all the time. That's where I can have the majority of my other apps to keep my home screen very much more minimal. I enjoy that. I enjoy being able to access the compass, my calendar, contacts through that edge panel. You can do edge lighting if you wanted to. The only thing I don't like about edge lighting, and I wish that edge lighting could still utilize the default notification system, is that it drops it in the center at the top, but then once you click on it, it opens up in a pop-up form view. Now, some things may not be as bad for that, but for me, especially with like text messages, I'd rather the text messages pop up as it usually would. I could just hit reply and then hit mark as read and it's gone, as opposed to having to open up the messages app in mini form. That I don't like. Yes, there's times when people send GIFs and, you know, opening the messages app in pop-up view is dope, but overall, that's the reason why I don't utilize edge lighting anymore. But I do enjoy the theory or the idea behind edge lighting. It's very cool. And so that for those reasons, I could still recommend it. I enjoy the fact that in your quick panel settings, you know, if I go in here, double tap, hit that fingerprint sensor and face unlock that they also give you on this device, you know what I'm saying? You go on your quick panel here. By the way, if you want to swipe down and get your notification panel, it's in settings. You can find that. You can do that. You know what I'm saying? Swipe up, get your, you know what I'm saying? You go on your edge panel, you know what I'm saying? And then you see you got all different shortcuts to your edge lighting and panel. Your do not disturb, Bixby routines, you know what I'm saying? Which is another feature I enjoy on here. Bixby routines gives your phone some automation tools where you don't even have to go and do specific feature changes or settings changes. You can have it automated based on where you're at or what time, or depending on the condition of the battery and stuff like that. Like, you can have your phone do whatever you want in the background and you don't have to really touch it. Of course, if you want to go in and make tweaks later, of course you can. But Bixby Routines is like an if this, then that app built within Samsung's devices. I do it on my tablets as well. So as I said, software-wise, it's been a straight beauty to use. I haven't had, rarely have I had any issues with a Samsung device when it comes to that. And thankfully for me, I actually didn't experience TouchWiz like that. I jumped in right at like One UI 1 or Samsung Experience 8, I think. I think that was with the S7 Edge. I didn't actually experience TouchWiz, which is pretty dope. And so, like, for me, I've always only really noticed pretty well sustaining software. Like the S7 Edge and S8 did kind of creep in some lag. But other than that, the S10e was fine, and this has been fine as well. What have I not used to its fullest yet? The camera. The reason why is I'm still waiting on Samsung to drop that update. I know it's in Korea. At some point, it's going to make it over here to the US. But I really want to give you guys a full-fledged review of the camera and video based on what it can do. Now, if you guys notice the light just dropped, that's because today I actually decided to use natural lighting coming out the window. And so if I appear a little darker, that's what really just happened. And maybe I'll brighten it in post or something like that. But yes, I have not used a camera like that yet. I've taken pictures here and there, pictures that you see posted on Twitter or whatever, Instagram. I did take those with the Galaxy S20, but I have not went deep into the camera just because I want to give it its fullest chance. And being that the phone hasn't been out a whole month yet, there's still plenty of time, as I've said before, for companies to still issue out updates to fine-tune the device, because we live in this day and age of I want it now, instant gratification. So with instant gratification comes devices that are not 100% ready for use yet. Now, granted, the S20 and S20 Plus do not have that issue in terms of camera issues like the S20 Ultra. That being said, they're still issuing an update to all the devices, so that way they're improved and fully ready to use. And I suspect that that update should be out really soon, but you will see that video as soon as we get that update. Overall, how's it been using this phone? I would say it's been a joy. I haven't really been itching to use my Pixel 4. My Pixel 4 is still ready to use whenever I'm ready to use it. You know what I'm saying? You know, especially on Wi-Fi. And if this phone's on a charger or something, or I just feel like picking up the Pixel 4 because I don't feel like using this for like 10 minutes or whatever, I'll pick up the Pixel 4 just to show it some love. But because this is a sync with my tablet, I have a device that I really like using, and it makes me question whether or not I would trade this or jump this to if Samsung decides to drop one more Note. You know, I've been very outspoken in saying that there will be no new Note this year, and most likely going forward. But I have left out the caveat that they would drop one more Note just to give it and all the features of the current S20 line, plus some new stuff, but then that will be the last Note. They can't, I guess it does make sense for them not to leave the Note on a last gen basis. Like I would imagine they want to throw 120 hertz in the Note phone, but I would say, you know, given all the price points of the phones, it's almost like they're undercutting one of the S20 phones with the Note phone, you know, in terms of price. So that's why I just really don't think there will be another Note anymore. But if they did, would I trade this in for that? I don't know, but I would like to have a Note just because I'm used to the S Pen life with my Tab S6. That being said, that's how good this S20 is. The $1,000 S20, should you buy it? If you have $1,000, go ahead. You know, if you have experienced Samsung, you like Samsung experience, go ahead. I guess it also depends on what phone you have now. But again, that being said, you're not losing anything by grabbing an S20 because you're getting everything you want, including a much improved and still improving ecosystem within Samsung's world. So again, very solid, very strong device. I encourage all to at least take a look at it at your near retail stores or your carrier stores and see if you like it. It feels good, 6.2 inches, not bad. It's got decent heft. Every now and then I throw a case on it in my pocket, you know, because it is slippery in terms of pocketability. I like to use pocketability. And I would say that I would throw a case on it like if I go to the gym and stuff like that. But other than that, I like to rock it bare bones because it feels good. I like showing off this cloud blue / aurora glowish, you know, in nature. But that's been my 2 weeks later review and follow-up on the Galaxy S20. Hope you guys appreciated and enjoyed it. Again, if you haven't already, ignite that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. And make sure you guys hit that notification bell so that way you guys get informed. YouTube lets you know when your boy Versal drops videos. But as I said, that's the end of this video. Your boy Versal signing out. And until the next video, gotta catch him. Wait, boy.